If I don't see Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and your next 12 first-round picks from McMuffin, I don't want it. We have some breaking news from the assistant GMs in the comments. Apparently, there has been a contract signed with McDonald's and Rick McMuffin. Every time he scores a goal, free Egg McMuffins for everybody in the arena. You love to see it. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of your Alaska Ice Eagles here on NHL 21. In the last video, we did a whole bunch of stuff, so let's recap it. First things first, we gotta talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Rick McMuffin. We made the trade. There wasn't really a way I could have made the trade any more realistic, I guess. I mean, we gave a first round pick and a really good defensive prospect to Pittsburgh. It was the most realistic I could make it, but it looks like Rick McMuffin's best locker room chemistry is with the fourth line center, also a rookie that made the team, who has 3 goals in his first 5 games, the 6'5" pest himself, Luke Roach. Now, he was our first rounder, 8th overall, made the team straight out of camp. I'm really excited for the future of this team with Shane Wright, Luke Roach. We got Rick McMuffin. There's a lot of really exciting things to look forward to here. Kiefer Bellows as well. He's a guy who really improved over the offseason, and he looks like he's going to be a legitimate player for us. He's got 5 points in 5 games, 87 overall, but the big fish here, Eli Tolvanen. The weirdest thing happened. We sent in an offer sheet to try to offer sheet him. We're going to give a second round pick, and then the very next day, they offered us Eli Tolvanen in a trade, so we paid up a little bit more, and oh my god, did we ever get this guy at a steal. He's only making $1.7 million for the next 2 years at an 89 overall. That is an absolute steal. The guy's making minimum wage, working at McDonald's, serving McMuffins to everybody. It's actually amazing how good of a contract this is, and I think it's a glitch in the game, but hey, I'm not going to say anything. I am pumped on that. Now, I don't want to focus too much on one player, but he's a popular player in the comments, and that is Rick McMuffin. Now, I already went ahead and changed his number because I got super excited about this comment. Richard Clay, he says, petition to get McMuffin's number to change to 72 in honor of the release year of the iconic Egg McMuffin. Boom, there it is, McMuffin number 72. Here's a look at the handsome guy himself, Rick McMuffin, kind of rocking an old school cage. Oh my god, he's got greasy hair. This man is a beauty. Now, we're gonna get a bunch of simulation done in this video, and I might think about getting some sort of trade juices flowing here. Now, the first comment here comes from Landrex, and they say your offense is good, so I'm thinking it's time you start to build the defensive area, because it looks like we let in about 3 goals a game. I agree with you. I think the +3s are really nice. Mikko Lehtinen and Parayko together is great. It kind of leaves out Dougie Hamilton, which I'm really not crazy about. I really would like to find another place to play a guy like Dougie Hamilton. I can't play him here. I can't really do a whole lot. I can't play him here, that's for sure. It doesn't work out this way. I can't really sacrifice the +3 as well. A part of me wants to part ways with Dougie Hamilton. I just can't give this guy third pairing minutes. There's just no way that's going to be even possible. So Nikita Zadorov, he's a big defensive defenseman. I'd love to pair him up with an offensive defenseman who's good enough on the third line. I mean, I could always do this as well. I could play Mikko Lehtinen right there, and then Dougie Hamilton with Colton Parayko gives it a +1, but that +3 is really nice, and we know Hamilton and Parayko really struggled last year playing together. Now, another comment here talking about trades. Jason says Schmaltz sucks. He needs to be traded. Whoa, that's our captain you're talking about, Jason. Calm down. But I see what you're saying. He doesn't really fit right now. Plus, he's making an absolute boatload of money. So I like Nick Schmaltz, and I'm not saying I'm going to trade him this year because I'm waiting on Shane Wright. If Shane Wright, he's got 5 points in 5 games, actually. Good for him. If Shane Wright can make that jump to 84, even 83, I'm going to move him up to the first line for next year. Now, I'm going to wait on moving Nick Schmaltz because I think this is his last year. So, Captain Schmaltz, your days are numbered, unfortunately. Maybe we'll even move him at the trade deadline if Shane Wright is good enough, and then Luke Roach can move up here with McMuffin and Kapanen. So that's kind of my thoughts there. I'm still really concerned about Dougie Hamilton on the third line pairing. Now, we are headed into year number 4 here. Here's just a bit of a recap. Year number 1, we only had 43 points. Year number 2, we doubled that with 86. And then last year, we fell off the map where I was really hoping to go on a playoff run. So this is the year that I'm hoping that we make the playoffs and maybe do some damage. You know, if we lose in the first round or lose in the second round, that's fine. But I just want to make the playoffs and prove that we are a contender. So with Eli Tolvanen, Zion Bertuzzi, we got a bunch of young kids here, Shane Wright. I'm a little worried about an 83 overall on the first line, but I'm hoping that Zion and Eli Tolvanen can kind of pull the weight of that first line. But we do have some more comments here. Some people wanted to see some of their favorite teams. I said in the last video I'll check out a few different squads. Luke in the comments says, what is Vancouver looking like without Horvat? Now, if you remember, Bo Horvat had like 111 points, and then the Newfoundland Growlers, our freaking rivals, decided, you know what? You seem like you're worth over $15 million a year. I'm just going to let that sink in. $15.2 million. That is absolutely insane. So I love Bo Horvat, don't get me wrong, but here's what Vancouver is looking like. They're doing just fine. They got Max Pacioretty, they got Nils Höglander and Vasily Podkolzin. They're doing fine without Horvat. It's kind of weird to see Horvat not on the Canucks, but looks like JT Miller is now a full-time centerman. And then we got another comment here. Craig, he wants to see what Colorado is looking like, so that's interesting. We got McKinnon and Rantanen. Looks like they pretty much stayed the same. They obviously got that franchise guy, I guess he's high elite, and that is Nick Bolt. This guy can skate so damn fast. Look at his skating category. No one's catching Nick Bolt. He's pointless in his first 5 games, but he looks like he's a steady third liner, 40-point guy. 88 overall, though. They should probably be giving him some more ice, but that's how their team looks. Defensively, looks like this with Makar and Bowen Byram. They're still legit. And then is it still Grubauer between the pipes? No, it's Holtby. So speaking of goalies, I didn't even look at Vancouver. They obviously, oh yeah, right, they have Zane Chow. I remember, 92 overall, medium franchise, 5'7", straight out of China, the Chinese sensation. Now, since all of these guys are coming off of their entry-level deals, you're going to be seeing maybe some franchise players either go to free agency at the end of this year, because there's going to be a lot of really good players that want a lot of money. Now, speaking of a lot of money, what does Zion Bertuzzi want? If it's under 10 million, I'm going to be happy. And it's 9.9. That's great. That is definitely under 10 million. I am cool with that. I'm wondering if we could get him at like 9.5 or 9 for 3. Let's just try it, all right? It's early on in the year. We signed him to a $9 million deal for 3 years. That gives us some room to sign Hedman. We're going to have to shell out some big boy money this year. So let's see if we can scratch any penny we can get here. $9 million for 3 years. Big Zion, sign on the dotted line, buddy. He does want to stay here. Now, if we do... Now, it might be smart to move a guy like Dougie Hamilton because he is making 7.4. Same thing with Nick Schmaltz, who's making 6.6. There's definitely some things to worry about with our team. The Nick Schmaltz situation. What do we do with Dougie Hamilton? I'm going to throw Dougie Hamilton on the block and see what comes up here. We're going to get all these picks off. I'm going to throw Dougie Hamilton up here and see if there is any offers that can come our way for Dougie. I'm going to pimp out the trade block a little bit here, just like we do in All Trades Accepted. See if we can get any trade juices flowing, but I definitely want to get a bunch of simulation done in this video. All right, so let's kick this bad boy off with a fun one here. We got Pittsburgh versus Alaska, Rick McMuffin versus his old team. We're 5 games in, we're 2-2-1. It's time to start getting serious here, putting some big time wins together. Let's go. Period number 1. It's 2-0. Jake Gensel gets both. He's Hunter Lightning's kryptonite. You hate to see it. Period number 2. Oh my God, 6-1. Jared McCann Crosby, O'Reilly, Dmitry Orlov. Andrei Burakovsky scores the only goal of the night for the Alaska Ice Eagles, and we are getting destroyed. Not the ideal performance. Connor Garland, former Alaska Ice Eagle, get me out of here. Okay, we make it interesting, and Rick McMuffin actually scored a goal. You love to see it. Hedman got a power play goal. Huckins actually got one. That's awesome. And then McMuffin gets the last one with just under 2 minutes left. But that second period, we completely fell apart. Can't be having games like that, boys. No way, no how. Let's get a good bulk of... Actually, wait. We got one more slow sim game here. I know I seem to slow sim every single game here. Zion Bertuzzi says yes to $9 million for 3 years. That's a big weight off my shoulders. Thank you, Zion. Taking a team-friendly deal. What a nice guy. Up against the Chicago Blackhawks. Kazov versus Bertuzzi. We all know and love this matchup. Let's go. Period number 1. It's 2-0. Burakovsky and Nick Schmaltz, baby. Goals in back-to-back for Burakovsky. Come on, Bertuzzi. Fresh off a new contract. Let's go. Period number 2. 4-1. Kiefer Bellows gets 2. Kiefer Bellows is now officially on the hat trick watch. Eric Stahl gets a power play goal. Alex DeBrincat, no way. Mikko Lehtinen, there you go. A big goal from the Finnish defenseman. Not the Mikko we're used to scoring. The other Mikko. Okay, DeBrincat, he's now on the hat trick watch as well. But Nikita Zadorov, goals from the back end. Absolutely beautiful. A guy who's usually not used to scoring, Nikita Zadorov. But Eli Tolvanen with the empty netter. Nothing from Kazov and nothing from Bertuzzi. But I'll take a big win. Kiefer Bellows with 2 goals and an assist. All right, let's get it going here. Let's get some serious simulation done. I feel like we're slow simming every single game, but there's so many storylines, including this game here. Steenbergen, I don't want to trade Steenbergen. No, thank you. Including this game here against the Islanders. Michkov and Smashkov. Okay, this is the last one. Here we go. Period number 1. 1-1. Eli Tolvanen, and there it is. Michkov. This guy is absolutely lethal. God, he's good. Power play goal. Period number 2. All right, 2-2. Alexander Wenberg, Anthony Beauvillier. They exchange goals. We have a big shot lead, and there's a big goal from Eli Tolvanen. Goals in back-to-back as well. Scores on Big Save Dave. Kiefer Bellows, how's it going, bud? 3 goals in 2 games. I really hope Kiefer Bellows can have like a 30-goal season. That'd be awesome. Best third-round pick I ever paid. I love me a good offer sheet. Looks like we're going to get the best of Michkov here. Oh, wait, Smashkov. That's just the xTech jinx. That's all that was right there. Straight up xTech jinx. We're leading in shots by 10, 7 minutes left. I'd absolutely love an insurance marker if you could grab one real quick. Bertuzzi, fresh off a new contract. Empty netter, maybe? Or are you just going to make me sweat it out? A minute left on the clock, and Zion Bertuzzi with the empty netter. Sometimes, I swear, man, I have a gift with that. I say a player needs to score, and boom, he scores. 3 points for Bertuzzi. I don't know why, it always happens, especially in the playoffs. Okay, enough of this. Let's actually get a good solid month of simulation underway here. 4-3-1. I'd love to string together a bunch of wins. I'm not trading Kiefer Bellows. Get out of here. 7-1. Take that, McDavid. And then a 4-1 win. Ryan Murray and Zach Kassian. The only player I'm looking to move right now is going to be Dougie Hamilton. So that's the only offer I'm going to entertain. Little overtime loss there, but then a 7-6 win. All right, here you go. We're stringing some wins together. We're 8-3-2. Make it 9-3-2, and then we lose against Colorado, but it was an overtime loss. Okay, we haven't lost in regulation in a long time. Kasperi Kapanen, no, I only want to deal Dougie Hamilton. Sorry, not entertaining any other offers except for Dougie Hamilton, especially not Rick McMuffin. If I don't see Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and your next 12 first-round picks from McMuffin, I don't want it. Another giant move here. Oh my god. Voracek and Ghost for Burakovsky and Kapanen. Now, I gotta at least look at this. Okay, so Burakovsky, we signed him to a big ticket. He's having actually a really good start with our team here, almost a point per game, 16 points in 19 games. And then as for Kasperi Kapanen, he's doing really good as well, 14 and 19 on the third line. So this looks like a giant cap dump for Philadelphia. I like Ghost. Unfortunately, I don't think he has a place on our team. He's making a lot of money as well. I like Voracek. Again, I don't think there's a place for Voracek on our team. All of our lines are pretty much set, so I'm going to say no to that one. I like the offers, though. Keep them coming. Again, we haven't lost in regulation in a long time, and there's another win, and there's another trade. We don't want Voracek or Ghost. 14-3-3. The boys are absolutely buzzing. And then there's a couple of losses. As I say, we haven't lost in regulation. We lose 2 straight in regulation. 15-5-3. I'm feeling pretty good about this team. I mean, it's still a little bit sketchy. We can lose 5 or 6 in a row, and just like that, our record doesn't look quite as good. But 16-7-3, not bad at all. Up against the Islanders, who have a very similar record, except it's backwards. They're 7-16-1, and we're 16-7-3. So let's have a quick look here at how the boys are doing. Kiefer Bellows leading the team in scoring. I did not expect that, but I will take it. How you doing, buddy? That is awesome. 30 points for the guy. Zion Bertuzzi, a point per game. Burakovsky, almost a point per game. Mikko Hedman, there you go. Wenberg as well. So we got a handful of players here that are hovering around the point per game mark. Tolvanen, he's not quite up there. He's got 21 and 26. Exact same thing with Nick Schmaltz. I really think what's holding our first line back is Nick Schmaltz, unfortunately. So I might have to figure something out here. Rick McMuffin, second on the team in goals with 13. How you doing, Chief? Kasperi Kapanen doing all right. Shane Wright as well, up to an 81. The thing I absolutely love about Shane Wright is the 96 passing. If we could chuck him on the first line, like, I know it's really early, but I might do it right now. He's got 96 passing. It would be just perfect to feed a guy like Eli Tolvanen, who I think having a 83 overall center is kind of hurting him. So I might do that sooner than later, to be honest with you. Luke Roach, there you go, the insect. He's having a great start. He's a +7. He's got 12 points. Victor Soderstrom. Everyone's doing actually pretty good, including Dougie Hamilton. I feel like we're absolutely wasting him, though. I gotta trade Dougie Hamilton like sooner than later. Colton Parayko is even not doing that bad. Huckins is doing okay there on the fourth line. Mikko's got 9 points. As for the tendies, Hunter Lightning 15 and 6. That's what we need from our starter, Hunter Lightning. Now, through the first 25-ish games, who's leading in points? I'm going to say the league leader has 53 points. That's just a guess. Okay, 48, and I don't want to talk about it, Max. We're not even looking at it. I'm moving on. So the chemistry doesn't change if I put Nick Schmaltz here and Shane Wright here. I mean, these guys are going to be playing together for a long time, so it might as well start now. Tolvanen, Wright, Bertuzzi. This is going to be the start of something special. So I'm going to write down the stats here on all 3 of these guys, and then I'm going to come back in, let's say, 10 games. All right, we'll come back at the 36 game mark, and we'll see how many points these 3 guys have together. Plus, Nick Schmaltz is a good depth guy. I mean, his overall bounces up and down. I think he was as high as like 88 overall at one time, so his overall really fluctuates. But we're going to do that right now. I still have to find a suitor for Dougie Hamilton, and then we're basically good to go, which is awesome. All right, so let's go here. Shane Wright on the first line up against the New York Islanders. Michkov and Smashkov, battle of the first lines. Let's go. Period number 1. It's 5-0. Oh, baby. Bertuzzi, Wenberg, Huckins, Nick Schmaltz, Kiefer Bellows against his old team as well. Kiefer Bellows, attaboy. Period number 2. Keep it going. 6-1. Nick Schmaltz on the power play. Doesn't matter where you play this guy, he's going to produce. Oliver Wahlstrom, unfortunately, breaks the shutout for Hunter Lightning. 7-1. Zion Bertuzzi. Yeah, I think playing Shane Wright on the first line is probably the right move. Michkov makes it 7-2, but this game is way too far out of reach. I think the Islanders are still a few years away. Even though they got Smashkov, they got Michkov, I don't think their team is quite that good yet, and it shows 7-2. Holy, you guys got absolutely pumped. Zion Bertuzzi and Nick Schmaltz, both 2 goals. There you go. Wenberg a goal and an assist. So let's get the next 9 games done, and then we'll see what we're working with. I really have to find a suitor for Dougie Hamilton because I just can't have that guy playing third line minutes. Okay, so after these 9 games, I'm going to try and see if I can work out a trade for Dougie Hamilton. Let's continue, hopefully, with the W's. We're 17, 19, and 3. Okay, back-to-back L's, triple L's. Oh, my God, you hate to see it. Nick Schmaltz for Grigorenko and Yandel. I don't want to move Nick Schmaltz right now, but 3 L's in a row. I don't love that. Let's get back into the winning ways here, guys. A 2-0 win. There you go. You need your goalie to steal one for you and not allow 7 goals. Oh my God. Okay, so maybe this wasn't a great idea because we are losing games left and right, and then we win 7-0. So I don't know what's going on with this team. This will be the 10th game here against the Anaheim Ducks. We have very similar records. They got Trevor Zegras versus Shane Wright. Period number 1, 0-0. Period number 2. All right, 1-1. Going into the third, it's 3-1. Zion Bertuzzi and Luke Roach, power forwards, baby, getting it done. Man, Kiefer Bellows is still killing it. 39 points in 35 games. I mean, who would have thought he would be leading our team right now? It's crazy. Okay, so let's start with Eli Tolvanen. He unfortunately hasn't had a goal in his last 9 games, which is kind of concerning. 27 points, though. He had 6 points in his last 10 games. It's a small sample size, but he's now a +2, where he was a -1 before. So 6 assists in his last 10 games. It's not terrible, but for a first liner, I need to start seeing some goals there. As for Shane Wright, it's pretty evident that his passing is what's going to make him a first liner. He had 8 points in 10 games. He was a +7 last time. Now he's a +10. 7 of those points were assists. He had the only goal. And as for Zion Bertuzzi, he has 8 points in his last 10 games as well, but almost all of them were goals. 7 of the 8 points were goals. 7 goals in his last 10 games. I think Zion's going to really benefit playing with Shane Wright. I think it's the right move. Hey, see what I did there? Even though, I mean, the overall isn't really great, we might be rushing him a little bit, but I'm feeling pretty confident with it. I didn't write down Nick Schmaltz's stats, but I mean, having a guy like Nick Schmaltz on the third line doesn't really hurt anything, so I'm glad with this. I'm glad we're staying. Having a guy like Nick Schmaltz on the third line really doesn't hurt anything. I really have to find a suitor for Dougie Hamilton here. So one more game here against the Vegas Golden Knights, and we're going to lose 6-3, which isn't great. But I'm going to see if there's any offers out there for Dougie Hamilton. Let's see. So there is some trade offers. I don't think there's going to be much that I'm going to be interested in. I'm looking for an offensive defenseman and basically picks and prospects. Oh man, we could get Phil the Thrill. I don't need Phil though. I do need Phil, but I don't need Phil back. So the Penguins really want Dougie Hamilton. They're sending 3 different offers. The Wild as well want him. Jamie Benn, that's a big contract though. Okay, so now let's see what's out there for bottom pairing offensive defensemen. Let's just have a look, just for fun. So we want a top 6 offensive defenseman. Let's just see what's out there. Obviously, we're going to stay away from the Luke Hughes, the Ryan Merkleys, all those guys. But, you know, a guy like, okay, there's really not a lot out there, actually. Grzelcyk, he's an offensive defenseman. He's making 3.6, not a terrible contract. Calvin DeHaan as well. He's making 2.4, offensive defenseman. Sami Vatanen, he's not even playing right now from Pittsburgh. So that's a big contract, actually. I was going to say we can maybe sweeten the pot even more for the McMuffin trade, but I'm not taking on that contract, no way. Oliver Shillington, we had him in our Buffalo series, won a Stanley Cup with him. Sam Weeks, he is 80 overall, so he's really young, low elite. I don't really think that New Jersey's going to want to part ways with him. I mean, it would be nice, but we'll have a look anyways. Frederick Quick, He was a guy drafted in the first round last year. You know, we're going to leave Pittsburgh alone. I feel like we've kind of already messed with them enough. Calen Addison, he's a guy who's also a Pittsburgh draft pick, fun fact. I don't mind Calen Addison, 23 years old. He might not be a bad idea to go ahead and have a look at. Nicholas Beaudin as well. He's pretty good. And then it gets into like Ryan Merkley, all those really good guys that I don't really want to play on the bottom pair. I want to find a player that it says defensive pairing 3. Okay, there you go, like Justin Schultz. That right there I think would give it the +5 or even a +3 with Justin Schultz. How much is he making? 6.3 for 2 years. They would have to definitely retain at least a couple $1 million. There's our guy, Dougie Hamilton, Ghost. There's really not a lot out there that fits what I need. So I just spent the last couple minutes trying to make this trade work with Justin Schultz. I don't think it's going to work, unfortunately. Justin Schultz and Dougie Hamilton are pretty evenly matched on the trade values, so I really don't think that's going to work out. I want to see if there's anyone else. Let's just go all defensemen here. Okay, that kind of narrows it down. There's quite a few more to choose from. Okay, let's have a look what's out here. There is a guy like Alex Goligoski who has, I mean, does he have a Stanley Cup with Pittsburgh? Am I crazy? Did he win a cup in 09? Or am I nuts? No, he did win a Stanley Cup for sure. So let's see, actually, playoff stats, 09. Yeah, he won a Stanley Cup, but he wasn't a big piece of it. He's got a Stanley Cup ring, which is kind of cool. He's not that great, 38 years old. He does have 21 assists, but he's actually playing in the AHL. So if we do trade for Goligoski, we're going to have to get like a first-round pick plus back. And then we could kind of figure out that third-line offensive piece in the free agency for next year. So Goligoski's not bad. I don't hate it. Let's see what else there is out there. Justin Schultz is like the only player that fits perfectly in defensive pairing 3. So part of me thinks that's going to be the key to the +5. Oh, we got another one here, Jamie Drysdale. Now, I can't see San Jose parting ways with him. Yeah, probably not. I do like Calen Addison, though. That might be a player that we have to go after. Him or this Sam Weeks guy. Let's see here. Sam Weeks, or do we go after Calen Addison? Let's have a look at both of them. So they have Ristolainen and Dumba as their big 1-2, but really nothing else after that. So they could really use a guy like Dougie Hamilton. Plus Jared Spurgeon is just not the player he once was. Let's have a look at New Jersey. I think Calen Addison might be our guy. Let's have a look at New Jersey here, and let's see what that Sam Weeks guy is looking like. I'm not a big fan of trading for players that are just drafted. I mean, I know I just traded for McMuffin, but that's a different story. Sam Weeks here, he's pretty good, 19 years old, he's just drafted. I mean, he's a stud. We should probably leave him alone. I think we're going to go back and visit Calen Addison here in Minnesota. Now, they want Dougie Hamilton as well. I'm wondering if I could get a second. Oh, we'd be under the salary cap. Okay, that's interesting. I'd have to take a player back that has some cap, which is totally fine because I know Minnesota has some bad contracts. I have to take a guy back like someone who I'm just not going to play. Someone like, I don't mind Jordan Greenway. He could play on my fourth line any day of the week. Big power forward. They're not even playing this guy. We could have just a monstrous team, 6'6", 227. I mean, we could play him on the fourth line. He could be a throw-in. He's making 2.8. Will that put me over the cap? Or is it still not going to be enough? 71 million. What's the minimum cap? Damn. I could take Matt Zuccarello and then just flip him for something else because we're not going to use Matt Zuccarello just to make the trade go through. I don't think a second's going to be enough to make it go through here. They want to get rid of these players and they want Dougie Hamilton, so we'll just have to trade Matt Zuccarello for like a fifth if we can. So will this go through? Trade value looks a little bit in our favor. I think the second's going to be a bit too much, but let's see anyways. Yeah, no way. So it'd be nice to get an additional draft pick, but we're getting Jordan Greenway, which could actually be a pretty good player for us. And then again, we're just going to flip Matt Zuccarello for anything. I would take Zach Parise, but 2 years left on that deal. I just can't do it. Give me a third for next year. Come on. Dougie Hamilton. We kind of recoup a draft pick that we ended up trading for Dougie Hamilton. We get Kalen Addison, and then we're going to get an additional draft pick as well once we trade away Matt Zuccarello. So will this trade go through with the third? Trade rejected. Okay, what about Greenway and Addison for Dougie Hamilton? What about that? Trade accepted. There you go. But we're not done yet. We're not done. We have to go ahead, put Kalen Addison in here, and then we also have to basically trade Matt Zuccarello for like a fifth. Now, let's see if this chemistry is going to work out here. It is... Okay, there's no chemistry between these two players. That's fine. Struggling to find how this is going to work. But hey, it is what it is. We get a younger offensive defenseman. I really thought that would have worked out. Interesting. Okay, maybe I'm doing this all wrong, but regardless, we have that. I think Steenbergen might be the guy to go. I don't really want to get rid of Huckins. He's been pretty damn good. Power forward on the fourth line. It's a -1. Okay, things aren't working out here. Jordan Greenway, what if we scratched Huckins? Because this is all three power forwards, right? Power forward, power forward, power forward. Obviously, that's not going to work out. So let's put Steenbergen back here. Let's go chuck him back there, and then we'll go ahead and scratch Huckins, maybe, and see if Jordan Greenway will work in there. Will that work out? Another power forward? Yeah, it's actually a +1, so it gives it a +1 as opposed to, I think Huckins was nothing. Was that right? Am I crazy? I like Huckins, big power forward. Yeah, it's a 0, so it doesn't give it any sort of chemistry boost. So I'm kind of happy with Jordan Greenway there. Plus, he wasn't even being played in Minnesota. So welcome to the fourth line with Luke Roach, 6'5", and Jordan Greenway, 6'6". We are not an easy team to play against, I'll tell you that much. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and trade Matt Zuccarello for basically anything. Just going to find a team that wants him, that's under the cap. It's not going to be the Chicago Blackhawks, that's for sure. It's probably going to be the Buffalo Sabres. They want Matt Zuccarello, that's fine. You can have Matt Zuccarello for the price of a 4th round pick. Alaska would be under the cap. You know what? Maybe we just hang on to Matt Zuccarello because I think we actually need him to stay under the cap. So, you know what? That's fine. Zuccarello, you can just sit on the bench. You can eat popcorn in the press box for all I care. There you go. So Dougie Hamilton is off to Minnesota, and we are back at home here against the Edmonton Oilers with the debut of Kalen Addison and 6'6" Jordan Greenway. All right, let's go here. Period number 1, 2-0. Shane Wright gets both of them. There you go. Known for passing, but he's shooting the puck tonight. Scores 2 goals on the flower. Period number 2, 3-0. Biggie Schmaltz on the third line. There you go. 3-0 here against Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. And see, I have a gift. I don't know how to explain it, but I say a name and he scores. Let's try Mikko Hedman. Maybe will you score a goal for us? Not Leon Draisaitl. Oh no, the 1-2 punch. I summoned them. I summoned Leon and Connor. Please go away. Please go away. There you go. We get the win anyways. Jeez, that was scary. All right, so we're going to get one more month done before we head into February, and then in the next video is going to be the one where we look at Newfoundland, and they're struggling. Oh my God, you paid Bo Horvat $15 million, and you are struggling? What is going on? Okay, so we're going to go up to the first here. Maybe we'll get into a little overtime action here. We'll see how many more slow sim games we get ourselves into. I'd like to win like 7 or 8, 9 straight, really separate ourselves here, really push our first place, because we have 51 points in the Pacific, so we're doing just fine. I don't want Patrick Marleau or Oliver Ekman-Larsson. No thank you. 5-1 loss there against Buffalo. Come on, guys. String some wins together here. I want to see 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row. Let's get on a big win streak. We lose 4 in a row, and our record is like 25-20. Doesn't look quite as good. There you go. Keep up with the wins. Oh, man, another loss. 26, 18, and 3. Alex Galchenyuk and Shea Theodore Oh man, I absolutely love Shea Theodore, but I really can't find a place for him on our team. He's awesome. He's one of my favorite defensemen in real life. I'm going to pass on Shea Theodore. Plus 2 firsts. I don't think Galchenyuk's quite worth that, so we're just going to politely say no, even though I do love me some Shea Theodore. Let's go here, boys. Get back into the swing of things. Let's start winning some hockey games. Only 3 more games here before we end off this month. Period number 1. It's 2-1. Mikko Hedman and Big Bad Kiefer Bellows. Xavier McGregor, he scores a big one for Buffalo. Period number 2. All right, they tie it up. Casey Cizikas, noted goal scorer. Okay, Casey with a big goal. Come on, 2-2 here. Oh, Sammy boy, Sam Reinhart, Ottawa Senator legend in our Buffalo franchise mode. And then Jack Eichel scores, but Zion, he puts us within 1. Come on, boys. This should be an easy W here against Buffalo and Xavier McGregor. 3 minutes left. Can you tie the game? Force overtime? Ooh, that's a big 2 points we just flushed down the toilet there, boys. The past month and a half, we've really been struggling here. Okay, so we got 2 more games, and then we got a whole couple of weeks off here. Reset a little bit, 27-20-3. It's not a fantastic record. 2 firsts for OEL, no thank you. Kapanen, nope, don't want to move him. No. All right, so you cannot end on a loss here. Come on, let's go. Get your shit together, and then we'll focus on the next episode, really pushing towards the postseason. Period number 1, I'd love to see an overtime game. It's 1-0 Evgeny freaking Dadonov. Period number 2, 3-1. God damn. We got Cody Glass, Ollie Forsberg, but Zion, he's scoring goals at will. I'd love for him to get another one here, put us closer. There you go, Alexander Wenberg. That's what I'm talking about, that plus 5. Come on, 3-2 here, 3-2. Maybe Kiefer Bellows. It's time to utilize that plus 5. You were leading the team in scoring. How about another one? Power play, come on, baby. 2 minutes left. Oh man, you hate to see it. Rick McMuffin scores with a minute left, but it was a little too late. And just like that, our record doesn't quite look quite as good. As I said, you lose 4 or 5 in a row. 27-21-3 doesn't sound as good as like 32-15-3, and in the Pacific Division, looks like it's another tight one here. Mikko Hedman leading the team in scoring, back to where he belongs. We're 3rd behind the Ducks and the Canucks, but you can see like it's 5 points from 6th to 3rd, so we really need to tighten it up here in a big way for the next episode. So we're 3-7-0 in our last 10. I don't know, maybe that Dougie Hamilton trade wasn't a good one. Maybe I got caught up in the chemistry a little bit too much. But here's a look at all the guys. Here's a look at everyone here. Mikko Hedman leading the way. This guy's got to be the captain, right? There's no way this guy doesn't wear the C one day for this team. Zion Bertuzzi with 52 and 51. Kiefer Bellows, man, what a year. 47 points in 51 games. Tolvanen, there you go. I'd like for him to score more. For a guy who has such a sick shooting category, doesn't really score a whole lot. Wenberg and Biggie Schmaltz both have 39 points. Shane Wright with 36. There you go. Burakovsky with the plus 5. He's got 34. Rick McMuffin with 20 goals. That's amazing. I mean, look at his shooting category. He is an absolute stud. Kasperi Kapanen there with 26. Victor Soderstrom at plus 23. That's awesome. I really don't think it's our defense that's our problem. As for the goaltenders here, Aiden Hill really struggling, 3-8, but 24-13 for Hunter Lightning. As for the entire league, is it still Kazov? No, it's Steven Stamkos with 80 and 50. Damn, you love to see it. And then Ekberg and Kazov. Oh my God. Jesus, that's terrifying. Felix Pox and Agent C, Podkolzin. Agent C looking pretty good there. 68 points in 49 games. Yeah, he's a beast. And then as for rookie skaters, Michkov has 28 goals. Rick McMuffin, though, let's go for that Calder, baby. Really got to tighten it up here if we want to push towards the postseason, especially with how tight our division is. 57 points, like, in the Atlantic is kind of a joke. You're with, like, the Red Wings right there. So talk about a tight division. Our division's weak, but it's really tight. It can go any way. So we got to tighten it up here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know about that Dougie Hamilton trade. I'm kind of regretting it a little bit. I wish I would have maybe took some more time and had a look at what was out there and not so much worried about strictly just the chemistry for the third line pair, but everything else is looking good. I'm feeling like we're going to tighten it up here in the last couple of months and then solidify ourselves as a playoff team. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.